able to rehome, I believe, 15 different families, RVs, donated RVs. We just finished a project recently in Chimney Rock where a lady named Valerie and her son, his wife, and their 2 kids were present during Helene. A landslide pretty much demolished their home. They were in it when it happened. Certainly, the way they survived that, if you would have seen the house before we demolished it, you wouldn't have been able to fathom how they would have. But we spent about 2 weeks clearing that property. And it was a lot smaller. It was probably 400 to 600 cubic yards of debris, trees, rocks. And we just recently were able to get them an RV, clear, level their lot, grade it. It doesn't look anything like it did when they first bought the property, but it's a blank page for them to be able to start over. But I don't think that a lot of the photos and videos should be seen in a way because of how traumatic it was to those families. But I believe that what we're doing is really good. And to be honest, a disaster like this, it attracts some of the best people and some of the worst. So you hear about great, wonderful stories, people being saved, rescued, rehabilitated by a volunteer group or a nonprofit, but you also hear stories of people being, used, robbed. There's a lot of negative in between all the positive as well. So it's a disaster, and to be honest with you, the emergency units around here, the network that they had was never going to be sufficient for a disaster like this. Even the federal government, everyone complained about FEMA, but they had no way to respond to something like this in an area that our own emergency management itself could not, in that scale, be effective. So, but at the end of the day, we're still doing work up there. Everything still looks the same way it did after Helene for the most part, in the hardest hit areas. Bat Cave, Chimney Rock, there's been a lot of growth. There's been a lot of repairs done. There's been a lot of work done. But all in all, it's been completely changed. The way it looked before Helene, it'll never look that way again. But what's most important is that we were able to at least give these people that lost everything or lost something, we were able to give them something back without them having to pay for it. And it's really restored my faith in humanity as a whole. I mean, we've had volunteers from Alaska who have come and stayed for 2 months. Hawaii, California, Canada, everywhere. It's just some of the greatest people that you'll ever meet. And nothing that is a talking point and that you would see on the media is anything that would bother or be a topic of conversation and this group of volunteers. Doesn't matter what their politics are. It doesn't matter what they believe in. None of that matters. We are literally as close as you can be, you know, as friends. And it's amazing that a group of people that are complete strangers can come together to help another community out. So it's a very positive, reinforcing American values, taking care of each other and these small communities. But yeah, I'd like to answer any questions if anybody has any questions.